Yasn beti mali Saso figa gada Baby unga hambi.
Hello, and welcome to the Nothing But Football podcast. A podcast that's going to make a couple of people happy today. You're a Chelsea fan?
Our aim is to make everyone happy. Yes. But it doesn't always work, I guess.
Yo. But let's just get straight into it. So I'm Lucas. I'm joined by my friends, fellow football enthusiasts. To my right, I've got Mr. Potion, all hoodied up.
What's up, guys? How you doing? It's cold, so you gotta get a warm beverage.
Gotta get it in.
You don't know if this is a warm beverage. You can just trust me, but it is. Hope you guys are well. And yeah, let's get the debates going.
Yo. And to my further right, I've got Uncle Curtis.
Thank you, Brother Hakeem. It was a good and terrible week for me last week. Screw Chelsea.
Oh, yeah?
Screw Chelsea.
So, Uncle Curtis, your skin is looking rather...
There's no makeup. I told you new season. You will be patient like everybody else.
Yo. Oh, wait, so let's just get straight into it, right? So, over the past week, we've seen the showpiece event of European football. I was going to say events, but that second one, can't really call it a showpiece, right? So, just getting into it, we've seen Chelsea become European champions. We've seen Villareal become European champions too. And I guess let's start there, right? At the curtain raiser. So Europa League final, Manchester United versus Villareal. That game went all the way to penalties, ended 1-1, went all the way to penalties, and Villareal took that one 11-10 on the penalties. Let me start at you guys here. Let me hold back the tears for a little bit.
Okay. If you want us to start, I thought we'd get your breakdown first, but no, I'll start. It's fine.
Let me take a young breather. Mr. Potion, your views on that game?
I think Villareal came with a plan. They didn't deviate from what they were doing. They knew they were trying to go for that. We're going to defend the whole game maybe just put in one. And that's how they were going to win. When it got to 90 minutes, they started to believe, okay, sharp, just hold it and maybe we'll go to penalties. And obviously from the penalties we saw, those guys were ready for penalties. I mean, rumors were coming out. The guys were waking up at 4 a.m. to train as a team. So it was one of those where they were purely focused. They knew what they had to do against you guys. Credit to them. Yeah, man. That's just about it. They didn't do nothing much amazing, but they played their role. They did their tactics, and that's what Unai Emery does.
100%. Uncle Curtis, let me bring you in here. Unai Emery's fourth Europa League win. How you feeling about that game?
Not salty at all. Happy for him. But yeah, they followed their tactics and they choked the game out of you guys. Rashford missed a couple of gilt-edged chances. You should have put away, but it's pressure in the final. But what I can say after watching that game, the one thing that I picked up is that Emery is not a big club manager.
He picked it up from that game.
And I say that due to the tactics that he uses.
Oh, the overly defensive.
Not even just like overly defensive, but like when he was at Arsenal, he wasn't overly attacking as you'd like to think.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which leads me to look like he's the second tier of manager to me. A manager where it's not bottom half of the table fighting for relegation, but he can be a David Moyes, better than David Moyes, right? And take Everton and possibly win them a European Cup for his tactics against bigger teams.
Yeah.
Because you guys should have won that, but he just choked them out.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it didn't work out at PSG. That's why it didn't work out at Arsenal. He just doesn't have that thing, because at certain clubs, you have to be on top all the time.
Yeah.
Only once every 20 years when you play Barca in a Champions League final are you supposed to come back and say, no, we are not the better team. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
But that's my opinion. That's my opinion on Emery. That's my opinion on his final. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Villareal in the Champions League. Congratulations to Coquelin and the Tottenham player.
You know what? And also to say something, I feel bad for De Gea. That was the one person I felt bad for.
Yeah.
I was happy, to tell you the truth. There was a time when I was watching. I was like, you know what? Please, can a black player not miss the penalty?
Sure.
I'm like, anyone else can miss, but if a black guy misses, they're gonna come after him. I could already tell.
100%.
And then apparently they went after Rashford.
They went after Rashford, yeah.
Yes.
They went after Rashford and Bailly hard on the racial tip.
Yes.
I can't even understand why Bailly, because he did nothing wrong during the game to me. He didn't concede.
He was
a large
just
amount.
black.
Yes.
He was just
Driving
black
while
and
black.
there.
It's playing soccer while black, dog. It's just one of those things. Hence, I was like, no, I'm glad a black player didn't miss.
Yeah.
From De Gea's point of view, bruh, like, he's a goalkeeper. You know.
Yeah.
We don't expect you to have those skills.
But you're not used to having with some of these guys, dog. I was watching some old NBA videos, which fans were busy hurling insults at some black players there. I think, where was it? I forgot what city it was in.
Indiana.
And the guy just
The LeBron one.
Not LeBron, years back.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
90s.
Ron Artest. Where they jumped in and they beat the fans. It was
They were like,
a beating fest.
Oh, nice.
like
But you
you're talking
can't do-
nonsense now. Oh,
But you
listen,
can't do that through social media. What do you do? Send a fist or something.
hire a private investigator, find him, and go to his house and just slap that 13-year-old boy. It's funny to be racist. Because if you won't discipline your children, I'll come. to
Sure,
your house
I'll
and
get
discipline
you.
your children.
I'll get you. It's like Eric Cantona after he retired. They asked him, "Do you have any regrets from your career?" He says, "I wish I kicked that fan harder."
Yeah, of course.
Yo, but let me give my views on the game. Let's I'll maybe go through the whole thing and then we can chat it there. From the lineup, Ollie picked an attacking lineup. To me, that's our Maguire side. That's probably the best 11. But I mean, when they haven't been playing like that, I was a little bit surprised by the lineup too. But it was fine. Across the 90 minutes, Villareal defended heavy, but United didn't create anything or not much. Villarreal's goal is from a set piece. United's been struggling with that all year. United's equalizer was a little bit of a scrappy in the box, and then we take it. 90 minutes goes past. Ollie makes no substitution. That to me is okay because he's got his best players on the 11. From there, I don't understand. Right? The subs were to bring on defenders, and it looked like Ollie was going towards penalties. Game obviously goes to penalties. Everyone scores their penalties exactly like you said, Mr. Posh. It's obviously sad for De Gea. I mean, you don't expect the goalkeeper to be scoring a penalty. Even the Villareal goalkeeper said that's the first penalty I've ever taken.
But he's lying. He practices that
At 4 a.m. with his
I
friends.
am telling you right now, that guy put it in the corner. When he put it in the corner, like the hair jumped in the same direction.
Yeah.
That's not that man's first penalty. So he must stop lying.
Sure.
De Gea, I can believe. De Gea just tried to pick a side.
Yeah.
You could even see from when, like, he was a bit nervous, as in, like, you're okay if I just pick a side and go sharp. That guy skyrocketed it.
Dude, that man walked up too confident. But let me ask you, gents, because obviously the chat around this is United and Ollie being labeled as bottlers. They couldn't get over the semi-final thing. You get through to the final, you lose it against Villareal. Come on, this is Etienne Capoue and Johan Foyth and people like this. It's not like you're losing to a team that's supposed to be better than.
Put some respect on my boy Coquelin.
Hey?
Put some respect on my boy Coquelin.
To
Put some respect on Coquelin.
Look, so that guy sucks. But we should have won.
Put some respect on that boy, man.
We should have won. But how do you guys think United comes out of this, Mr. Posh?
To tell you the truth, it's a yes and no for me. I feel as though, from Ollie's point of view, he bottled it.
Yeah.
He should have won. The time's going. You still haven't won your first trophy. Like, you guys had an amazing season. But towards the end, there was a slight dip of form.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Maguire getting injured? I think it was way before that. There was already a slight dip. You guys were you're a ruthless team. Yeah. But then they started to be that thing. Especially, you went 6-2 against Roma. Was it 6-2?
Yeah. Overall.
Roma was unfortunate with the
No,
injuries in
but
that game.
you guys, like, you beat Roma, like, you thrashed them.
we clapped them in the first
And then
leg,
in the second leg, like,
then we lost to them.
yeah, you kind of lost momentum.
Mm.
So hence why I'm saying, I don't know, maybe that's what it was. You guys peaked at the wrong time. But in the same breath, you're going up against someone who's a
Serial winner, man.
Who's a serial winner in what's his name? In the Europa.
Yeah, he knows finals are just about winning.
Mm.
He doesn't try to impress you in the final,
Yes.
nothing.
So Ole was thinking, hey, bro, now I'm going to beat this guy. And dude, you guys threw everything at them. I was even seeing the commentators were busy talking, like saying, nah, these guys are bound to get tired from a Villareal point of view. But no, they just kept bringing on defenders from the bench. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They knew what their end goal was. And credit to them, that worked out. But yeah, I don't think you guys bottled it per se. Maybe Ole bottled it from his point of view as in terms of his achievements, that what he's supposed to have achieved by now.
Yeah.
But I think going into next season, I think you guys have a strong squad. You'll be fine. And you're in Champions League anyway, so.
Uncle Curtis? This is a manager that's been called PE teacher, all these kind of things, water carrier or whatever. A trophy would have gone a long way. So
Gone a long way, but it's football. When you're not winning, you get harsh things said about you.
Yeah.
More than a PE teacher, it's just banter, it's just jokes. At least
So you're saying it's not that bad?
it's not that bad. I'm like,
Because obviously the Ollie out brigade reared their heads a little bit.
Nah, that's just those fans, that your guys' fans who are ungrateful, who don't know that your guys are still in the process of rebuilding.
Yeah.
And Ole's done a pretty good job,
Yep.
if you ask me.
Yeah.
Coming in second, sharp, competing for every trophy that he was in.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a decent season. Like, then you can kind of look forward and to see what happens next season.
What happens next? So in my opinion, I think it doesn't make it a bad season. It's still a good season. It obviously would have been better winning. But for me, this is the last season Ollie gets away without having silverware.
That's what you said in the beginning of the season. But
This
season
I
was
still hold
better.
that. Yeah.
At least this season, last season he wasn't even here. Last season, in terms of trophies, there's no trophy that.
No, we went out in the semi-final of Europa last year.
Yeah. So hence why I'm saying, okay, at least this time you were like,
Closer.
you were closer.
And it's penalties. It's penalties. That could have gone any other way, and it's a different conversation, right?
just me, what he does in the transfer season. Because he learned from the mistake that, hey, Maguire can't be my only player.
True.
That's ball playing that I depend on. Zidane left Madrid. That means Pogba will most probably stay.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Fix the thing of getting the next striker that's ready, because Rashford and Greenwood are not going to be Cavani.
To
Get you those crucial goals like he did in the semi-final. And then, take it from there, because Fernandes is there, Pogba, when he plays well, is there, and get a better CDM. That's all they got to do. Get a better CDM that can train McTominay how to play better. And then we'll take it from there. But,
So it doesn't ruin the season or take the gloss off the season. Still a decent season for United.
Yeah.
To me, beginning of season, United were not expected to be Europa Final, and they were not expected to be second.
Fair enough.
Just because they were first in Jan, it doesn't take away from the fact that they still overperformed slightly.
Yeah, and they were first for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but some of your fans celebrated like you won the league.
They wilded.
And we won, guys. We're like, my guy, City's just 3 points behind you with the game in hand. Like, let's chill. But it's one of those things. Take it in your stride. Don't look at it like it's a bad achievement, but concentrate on what needs to be fixed. Because if you come out of this and you have no learnings into the new season,
Truth.
I'll be hacked.
Truth.
That's all I can say.
No, I'm busy wondering in my head. I'm like, what would have happened if it was a United Arsenal final? Now you like your mind hurt. I don't know. It is
a lot more.
This is post hurt, dog. It's like, bro, if Villareal could take their piece as well, dog, maybe we could have also taken our piece, bro.
Maybe.
But
it's
you
fine.
also think in your head that United would have probably been more ready for us than they would have been for Villareal.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't have all out defended like they did.
Yes.
And
'Cause I was
United's good on a counter. So
in my head, because there's obviously some murmurs from the footballing world where, they're like, look at you, Arsenal. This could have been you if you'd kept that vampire. But yeah.
I don't want that, man.
No, yeah.
We lost 4-0 in the final because of him. I don't want
I
that, man.
reiterate that, listen, I'm happy for the guy. He's at the team that appreciates him. But we wouldn't have appreciated him because we don't appreciate his style of play.
fair enough.
And that's okay. We have
enough.
differences in opinion. So,
No, I feel you.
yeah, well done to him. But even if I knew if I knew now what I knew,
Then.
if I knew then what I knew now, I'd still say, you know what, it's okay. Like, Unai Emery, all the best to you.
Fair enough. Look, shout out well done to Villareal, well done to Emre. He's a legend in that competition, right? But now let's go to the real one, the European title that everybody wants. Now, just to lead up into this, this was the Champions League final, Chelsea versus Manchester City. It was supposed to be Pep's day. It was built up as, can Pep do it? He's had this monkey on his back the whole time to say, well, can he do it without Messi? That kind of thing. Chelsea has obviously gone on such a rise under Thomas Tuchel. And the game played out to a 1-0 victory for Chelsea. Chelsea are now European champions. Shout out to you, Chelsea fans. I'm sure you had a lovely weekend.
Yeah, you did.
So let's get into that one. Let me start at you, Uncle Curtis. So that game came. I'm pretty sure Man City were favorites, right? We all agree on that. Obviously, an upset, like in terms of that, but good win for Chelsea. But how do you see it?
I don't know what drugs Pep is on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they test managers for substance abuse? I don't think they test managers, but I don't know what he's doing. What the hell was that formation?
Yeah.
He was, what's this? De Bruyne and a false 9. Sterling, who hasn't played for a week, started.
Yeah.
Foden on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. Cool, I don't mind.
Foden was in the middle.
Oh, in the middle?
It was Sterling on the left, Mahrez on the right.
Okay. Foden in the middle, but Foden has generally been playing where Sterling is playing.
Exactly.
And you've been doing well.
And he's 19.
20.
CDM.
You put Rodri and Fernandinho on the bench. Where does the goal come from? Counter-attack where Fernandinho or Rodri would have been covering who's it? Havertz. Havertz from scoring.
Yeah.
Now you allowed Mason Mount to win a Champions League. You allowed the flop of Havertz, who's been playing at Chelsea the whole season, to make his season look decent with the trophy now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that, man. I think he disrespected Yaya Toure and the Africans there by Barca.
Yeah.
And then they put a curse on him, like they say. The Afro-Man shaman won't allow him to win another Champions League because of what he won't allow because what he did to those people. But I do not know what he was doing in that final. And he's not going to get another final for a couple of years. I don't think so. It's not that easy. Just final after final.
You won't just get it there, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I do not know what that gent was doing. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know how you feel about Potion. Like, that starting lineup.
Yeah. So for me, first thing, I'd like to start by saying congratulations, Chelsea. I underestimated you. Underestimating is actually quite an understatement. I did not even see you in that final. I didn't think you guys...
It was City hands down for you.
No. I'm saying, walking in, because remember I was going to say when it rains it pours. I thought Chelsea was going to get knocked out of Champions League.
Yeah,
they're going to lose FA Cup final. And they were going to lose Champions League final. I thought those guys were just going to have a terrible month. But you know what? You guys did well. You came back. I guess you didn't really prove me right by qualifying for Champions League because you were just lucky because Tottenham did you guys a solid. But yeah, I feel like Chelsea just played their game. Didn't try to get into their heads. They didn't try, Tuchel didn't try to be a tactical genius. He just said, bruh, you guys are the best players right now that I have. Go play. And that's what they did. Defense was amazing. Even when Thiago Silva came off, people were worried that, things would be shaky. But Christensen just came on and the show just kept going on. So from that point of view, I say, well done. From City's point of view, now we talk about...
think let's get into that because I think there's a lot of positives to talk about on the Chelsea end, but let's get through what the debate would be. Pep's lineup.
You know, I also want to start with Pep's lineup. Those tears that he had for a girl on the final day of the season, lies.
Yes.
You heard it here first from Potion on Nothing But Football, and he was like, it's lies, lies, lies. What does he do when he's 1-0 down on the 70th minute? He brings on Jesus. Like Jesus has ever come on to win a game for him when he's losing. So, hey, that's where I think the first mistake was. You know,
not starting Aguero, even the sub.
Start with Jesus.
Starting a striker.
Yeah.
Start with Jesus, and then no CDM against a counter-attacking Chelsea team. I don't know what he was doing. I do not know what he was doing.
So Mr. Moshe, let me ask you there, because these changes and these ideas or whatever look terrible when he loses, but Pep actually does this all the time. Doesn't he get it right more than he gets it wrong? I know it's the wrong stage to get it wrong, but
To tell you the truth, experimenting in a final normally does not go well.
I hear you.
Like experimenting in a final is normally a no-no. For me, from a perspective of the players, I'm kind of happy Pep didn't win. Because if Pep won, trust me, like this was going to be the new revolution of football. As in how you don't really need a striker. You can just put X, Y, and Z in. Because if Pep won, he'd justify everything he's ever done. The false nine thing, playing without a strike, playing without a CDM.
Yeah.
Like, it was quite simple, like what Pep had to do. You didn't have to start Aguero. Sure.
No.
But you could have at least started Jesus.
Or at least start the team that's been dominated.
Exactly. So in my head,
that team almost picked itself. Sorry, go ahead.
So in my head, I'm thinking from that point of view, I'm glad that bastard lost. I'm glad. Because he thinks he's bigger than football.
Yeah.
He undermines player talent because he thinks that I'm the man.
Yeah.
Yes, you're brilliant tactically, but I think your player relations from Pep, your player relations are garbage, mate. They're garbage.
He's not playing strikers, but his best teams did have lethal number 9s.
Maybe tell me what his best teams are, because I'd say this is one of them that played without a number 9 the whole season.
Yeah, the Barca with Eto'o, he might not admit it, but that was a season where every striker got most 20 goals this season.
Okay,
Messi, but cool. Then even when he won the Champions League final again with Henry and them in the team, again, every striker over there above 20 goals a season. Nah? And that's when you play 3-4 in football. Who's City's high scorer of the season?
Who is it?
You see,
is it Mahrez or it's probably Mahrez or De Bruyne?
You see, but it's not
That's
double
a very
digits.
good question.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about they defended well.
Yeah.
Who in football watches football to say they defended well?
Their highest goal scorer is Ilkay Gundogan.
Oh, nice. Look. So
13.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They've defended well, yes. They still scored a boatload of goals. So there's not one outstanding scorer, yes. But I think you'll probably find there's a lot of guys on double digits.
Yes, but what I'm saying is his best.
Just two. Him and Sterling. And Raheem Sterling.
Haven't they scored the most goals in the league? Have they spread it out that much then?
Then Phil Foden got 9. Gabriel Jesus got 9. If I move, Riyad Mahrez 9.
But you see, it's
Ferran Torres 7.
So I like that.
6.
I think yes, you haven't played a striker, but you've still gotten goals.
Okay, but what I'm saying is look at the standards you set from yourself in the previous Barca team. Everybody was getting 20 goals in the league alone.
3 people.
3 people.
Yeah.
3 strikers. They're doing their job. You think that?
No. I get you, but you were saying everybody. I'm saying here's a list of scorers here.
Yeah, it's a list of scorers, but it's a list of scorers over 38. Yeah.
And the most goals in the league.
Okay, no, but
we can't say they didn't score or they failed to score.
Yeah, but those list of scorers now, we're looking at Gundogan 13, Foden 9, Mahrez 11. That's 34 goals. That's basically one quality striker. The other 6 guys are not going to make up the other tally of to another striker who gets 20.
Fair enough.
But hence why I'm saying it's games like this where he'll miss a quality striker.
Yeah. So I agree with you in this game. So to me, not playing the number 9 is actually fine because that's been your team the whole season.
Yeah.
Then not playing a defensive midfield is where I don't understand. But looking at that game too, there's players that did play in their positions. I mean, Marius has been turning up trees, but he couldn't get a sniff. Foden, they changed his position. To me, he's too young to be in a central midfield against Chelsea in the Champions League final. Although say shout out to the faith in him, but not so great performances, right? Right. But then now I think we should switch to the Chelsea end, right? And I want to chat about my man of the match.
Of course, I think we all got the same guy.
Oh, did he actually get it right? Who won man of the match? Because you get a trophy for that.
I think it was Kante.
You get a. Yeah, it was him.
It was Kante. He was all over them.
He was all over them.
Guys,
N'Golo Kante's trophy cabinet. There's a World Cup. There's a Champions League. There's a Premier League with Chelsea and Leicester. There's cups for days. Guys, what do we think about this play?
I'd like to stop and remind you that Frank Lampard wanted to get rid of this man. Frank Lampard wanted to get rid of this man.
You know what? That reminds me about Frank Lampard over there. The AVB circle of thing, that the way he got AVB fired is what happened with him. Remember, they got AVB fired, won Champions League. Players got him fired, won Champions League. Now he's forever known as the habitual failure at Chelsea. Don't get it wrong. He's a legend at Chelsea. He's a habitual failure at management level there.
And to tell you, that guy
habitual is strong, but
and that guy has he's got some friends, good friends in high places. Because even when Chelsea won, I was watching that game and listening to the commentators. They even said credit to Frank Lampard for this team. Let's not forget what he did to bring this team together. They were praising that man during Tuchel's reign. Like as in he must get a medal. Is he gonna can he even get a medal?
I wonder.
We don't know about managers, but the player might have.
Yeah.
No, because I was gonna say, bro, like the way they were saying it is like, they're gonna call Frank Lampard from the stands to run down with like that bracket run, dog. As in it's also you. No, it's not you, mate.
This is why he'll never be a success as a manager, because they're not telling him that his stint there was a failure.
Can I pour some gas on the Uncle Curtis Frank Lampard fire? So Frank Lampard, the manager before him wins Chelsea a European trophy. The manager after him wins Chelsea a European trophy.
Sarri is better than Lampard. Sarri even went on to Juventus and won the league.
But let's go back to Kante, guys.
Kante. He's a special player. He's a special player. You're about to play the Euros now.
Yeah.
If France win these Euros now, he'll join a group of 6 players that have basically won World Cup, Euros, or Copa America from where they are. Champions League title, and I forgot the other 2 trophies. I think what it is.
Hectic.
And that group of players is basically, you're looking at Julian Brandt, a Brazilian player, I think. Gerard Piqué, Spanish player.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry, and I forgot the other 2 players. So it's like
probably a couple Frenchmen in there.
It might be you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Like I think only Henry and I forget the other French player that started with it, because of the young age. But that'll be an achievement. One of 6 players in the history of football to have won basically every major honor you have on offer.
Brilliant.
In football. You can't take that away from him. That means he's a special breed of player, considering he came from League 3. Yeah, and then France, he gets a chance at League 1. He gets to Leicester. He does well there. He gets to Chelsea, does what he wants to do. Managers try and put him out of position. Then when managers with sense come back into the team, they put him where he's supposed to be, and he does 2-man's job.
100%. All the way.
Like, I'd have Kante if he's going to be running up and down like that.
Yeah.
Semi-final to the final. This man has been killing those teams.
100%. Mr. Potion. So that defensive midfielder role was called the Makalele role for a long time because of what he did, right?
No.
I've been thinking to myself, I think Kante is a better player than Makalele.
No. Let's not...
Too much? We don't need to do that.
Let's not
We don't need to do that.
Let's not jump there.
Okay.
Because I feel like Makalele was amazing at his, in his time.
Sure. Okay.
Kante is still as much as he's won and as well as he plays, he's still, his history's still being written. So I think for now,
I get you.
For now, we can just leave those talks. But he's done a good job at the role.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from him. For me, I've even been hearing the murmurs of where they're saying, hey, Ballon d'Or.
No, he's not.
You don't think so?
As good as he has been. How do I put this? I think Kante plays well against teams that are energy intensive. High press, do things quickly. Because he will get there quickly. He will take you out of your comfort zone. Right? But sometimes, like a special type of player that can be lazy, but man just knows how to create space for himself. Kante will struggle against those type of players, I think.
So on the ball, basically. On the ball. If Kante has to sit on the ball, basically.
Like when a player can say, okay, fine, I don't have to touch the ball to lose you. You struggle against those. But when you're playing against a PEP system, where it's on some passport, Kante will run up into your players get tired of passing. But now if I have to slow the game down and then do what I want to do to get past you, he might struggle there.
But if Kante goes to win Euros, if he does well and he puts in man of the match performances after man of the match performances,
but then your man's the common denominator.
I was gonna say, do you think then the calls from the corners of the streets are valid?
But I hear you there. But when he goes and plays in France, he doesn't run the way like he does at Chelsea. It's not as intensive. It's a good CDM role, but it's not going to be as chasing after the ball. Because France now they have Benzema in there. Yeah. They have Mbappe in there. They have Pogba in there. They have Varane as a central defender. And how many great players do France have?
Gang.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, Laporte, we don't need you.
Sure, go play for Spain. Downgrade.
Ipo Machana, the Leipzig defender that's going to buy under 21s for France.
Sure.
Like this is a quality squad. Chelsea, yes, but who's he playing with? Havertz hasn't proved anything in his whole career. Werner hasn't proved anything basically in his whole career besides at Leipzig. Who's established? Jorginho, not the greatest of players. He's just been in and about. And then who are you looking at? When you look at that Chelsea squad, yes, they won a Champions League, but they still have a lot to prove on an individual level. Besides maybe Thiago Silva in defense, every other player in that team has a lot to prove about who they are.
I get you. Let's bring it to the Chelsea performance though on the night. Right. So on the night, I thought Chelsea tactically they did well. They closed down the spaces Man City likes to play in. They sort of closed that down. I think there were some very strong performances from Chelsea. Kai Havertz scored the goal, but I thought he had a very good game. Also, I thought Mason Mount, I've been seeing he's been consistent this season. He did well again. Timo Werner missed chances. He does what he did. He did what he does.
He's a live wire.
But he had a good performance. Yeah. Chelsea defensively, maybe to the Chelsea performance overall.
Rudiger, please, can we not forget that man?
Yeah.
That guy was solid.
Yeah.
So solid, he broke Kevin De Bruyne's face.
It isn't that one of the players that Frank Lampard wanted to get rid of, and they want to give Frank Lampard credit now. Like he throws him out, and all of a sudden he did well putting this team together.
If you look at that lineup, he threw Rudiger away, he threw Jorginho away.
Mm-hmm. He was throwing Aspilicueta away.
He threw, yeah.
Kante was in and out.
Kante was in and out, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, just back to the Chelsea performance, Uncle Curtis, were they deserved winners of that game?
Yes. Man City didn't do enough to win the game, so they deserved winners. No chance. It's not like there was a contentious call. The ref was, I'm going to say the ref was great.
Yeah.
There were no calls where we were like, hey, that was dodgy.
Yeah.
That changed the outcome of the game. And this shows what quality refereeing does at the end of the game, where end of game, nobody's complaining about decisions. Everybody's saying, hey, Man City didn't put the chances away, but Chelsea were the better team. And that's the way I view it. They were deserved winners. I hate to say it, but they were.
They really were. They really were. And deserved champions of Europe. Does this make you fear them for next season?
No.
I do.
Depends on recruitment, but no.
Okay.
I don't know what Potion says, but to me, no.
To tell you the truth, it sounds like with things going on around in the football world, they're looking for a striker. Because obviously, I'm sure Giroud's going.
I'm sure Abraham's
going. He's got a Champions League now. He can actually go barter. He can go fight for a bigger pay.
That man pulled a John Terry, came out full kit, boy.
Yeah.
But I would too, Joe.
No, in
There's
all
no ways
fairness-
I'm celebrating that in a
Right,
suit,
in
Joe.
all fairness-
English people, why do they have that
In all
requirement?
fairness, he played. Like, he played during Champions League.
Oh,
he,
sure.
He scored some good goals. Same as Giroud. He played. I mean, there was that game where he scored 4 goals.
Oh, Giroud, yeah.
That's what I say. All those guys deserve it. Like, from that point of view. Now they can go and argue for bigger wages or go to another club. But for me, I feel like if Chelsea gets a good striker next season, then like it's one of those where like they'll be feared. And I think there's someone who they can get. But the question is, does that player want to come? I'll discuss who it is in the second part when we.
I hear you, but
Uncle Curtis?
I think Werner makes that team tick as much chances as he misses because he creates the spaces, he stretches teams, which is why they get those goals on the counter. Right? They get a striker. I still don't see them being. He's just going to fit in. I can't think of a striker that joined straight away and scored 30 goals in a season.
I shall reveal that as we talk.
I know you're talking about, but I still don't see that. He's still a young man, that man.
Yeah. Look. So for me, I think the strength of their squad is there. So ready for next season, and they don't concede goals. So that's what I'm just saying. For me, I think they can do something next season. Obviously, City's still the favorites next season, but I think they've got a strong enough squad to think they can challenge next year.
I might view Tuchel's managerial career as AVB's at Chelsea. You were just there at the right moment at the right time, and then it fell apart the season after that.
Okay, I hear you, and I think
I mean Di Matteo. Sorry,
Di Matteo.
Di Matteo. No, it's an extreme example. I get you, but I'm
he's
just
saying his Chelsea experience. He's forgetting Dortmund and Mainz.
Just his Chelsea experience. Like, you just might be at the right club at the right moment. They made the right change at the right time. And then everything just worked out in your way.
Can't take that away from you.
Yeah, I can't take it away from me, man. But to me, Chelsea's DNA is still a defensive side. And I don't care who they bring in as a striker. It's in their DNA. It's like United started going back to winning ways when they had 2 wingers bombing down.
Yes,
only on the counter attack. It's within that club's DNA. Pep is creating. Yeah, Drogba, Pep is,
that's what I'm saying. They don't need many goals from a striker.
Yeah, but with Pep, he's creating the Man City DNA. And even Man City in the past, even though they weren't successful, they were still a team that weren't very defensive. They always tried to go for games. They had the Craig Bellamy's and a couple of other strikers. It's just that now he's instilled a winning culture there. So that's why I say I'll be afraid of Chelsea when they start getting a striker who only scores 10 goals a season, but he scores headers from nowhere, and then he comes to any striker. When Chelsea get a striker that terrorizes Arsenal, we all done for.
Sure. Okay, so there we have it. Well done to Chelsea, European champions. Uncle Curtis is still iffy about it, but well done to Chelsea. And we'll see you niggas in part 2.
All right.
Sure.